Keeping It Due, episode 4. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is fun, guys. This is really fun. I mean, recording these podcasts, putting them out, getting feedback. I'm getting sort of like a high off of it. It's quite liberating. If you are new to the podcast or a new listener, welcome. This is Keeping It Due. I am your host, David Muero, and we do these things weekly. Well, so far. Still debating on whether I want to do these bi-weekly. I don't know if that's the right word. Upload them twice a week at least. That's what I'm getting at. But this is where all things, whatever just comes to mind, something that interests me in any shape or form, I talk about it here on this podcast. It's sort of like a release, you know. I come across something, I'm like, I really want to share, and I share it on this platform. If you are listening to this on YouTube, you can find this particular podcast on Audacity. Audacity then distributes. You can go through Audacity to listen to this on Spotify, on Google Play, on Google Podcasts, etc. If you're listening to this through those particular mediums, you can find this particular podcast on Keeping It Due on YouTube. Just search Keeping It Due. Please do subscribe. It really does help, and like and engage down in the comment section down below. It really helps, at least even me, get to know whether you guys are liking it, what you want to talk about. The engagement and the feedback is really welcome. So please do that for me, and I'll be highly appreciative of that. Now, today's topic, Today, we are talking about only one thing only, okay? At the top of this month, about a week ago or so, a man by the name of Wizkid decided to drop a body of work that I'm just going to go ahead and say it so far, because the year is not yet over, but so far, my favorite body of work from any artist in the world, period. This album is just from, and it's been a while since this has happened, by the way, at least for me personally. Everyone is entitled to their own opinions and whatnot. Matter of fact, I was having a discussion with one of my friends, and she was actually telling me that because at the time of recording this, Davido had just released an album, and she was telling me how this particular album that I'm about to discuss, Made in Lagos by Wizkid, didn't really flow with her, you know. It didn't really do it for her. She liked maybe 2 or 3 songs on the entire album, and that's it. And I totally disagree. I feel like maybe there are 2 songs on the album that I don't like as much as the rest. Not to say that I don't like them, but this album is just phenomenal. The vibes. I was listening to a lot of his promotional interviews that he's been having at the release of this podcast, and what he basically was talking about and iterating throughout all these interviews was that he was just trying to make sure that the vibes were right with this particular body of work, and I think he nailed it. He nailed the grownness of it. His previous album, Sounds from the Other Side, it was more of there was a lot of he wanted to become very mainstream in that particular, at least from my impressions. Now I'm talking about his previous album, really touching on the reggae style, maybe a little bit of dancehall, the Afro beats, really, and even with the kind of people he was featuring on the album, really mainstream heavy hitters, Ty Dolla Signs, Skepta and the like. This particular album, though, it's like he really wanted to pay attention to what the sound was going to be like from cover to cover, and you can get the gist that from cover to cover, the sound and the vibe was very consistent. He didn't have one super upbeat club banger type thing, and then on the other side he had a nice mellow chill out vibey kind of song. In this album, he didn't he played in that pocket of grown and sexy, this new sound that he's trying with the saxophone. He's going back to that whole Fela Kuti influence that he was really, especially at the beginning of his career, he mentioned that Fela Kuti was his topmost influence. He loved the Fela Kuti sound, and he even had a song, Jaye Jaye, with the Kuti offspring. He was on the saxophone. So that is what I was getting from this particular album, Made in Lagos. It is a beautiful, beautiful album. Now I want to go through. I'm not gonna go through each and every song, but I want you to. I want to make mention. I want to make mention to the producer credits on this. I want to tell you guys about who exactly was on the album. And just to give you a gist of, you know, the kind of, if you haven't heard it yet, the kind of sounds and the voices that you're going to be hearing when you play this album. And I really do hope you guys enjoy it as much as I did. Now, this particular album, 14-track album, mind you, features Burna Boy, Skepta, Damian Marley, LMA, Projects, Taywar, Thames, and Terry. Those are the vocalists. Those are the vocal sounds that you'll be hearing alongside Wizkid on this particular album. My particular favorite song on this album, there are two actually, two. I really, really like Burna Boy, Ginger. Oh gosh! I mean, matter of fact, I listen. That song was so nice, and I know it wasn't one of the release singles. It wasn't one of the release singles. The two singles that basically were the build up to the release of this album was No Stress and Smile. No Stress he did solo, and Smile he did with her. Two really, really good songs, by the way. In terms of singles, really, really, it played to that tone of what this album was doing. Now, I want you to listen to it. I want you to listen to Ginger real quick. I'm playing it for you right now. I just want to tease you with that. I know you probably already heard that song already. Some of you guys have already been using it on your Instagram stories, on your reels, whatever. But that song, it's just that 2020 is just, it's the year of taking away socializing. But I'm just imagining, I'm setting the scene. This song is playing at just a nice, vibey cookout. You're there with those people that you just love chilling with, you know, it could be family or friends, and this song just comes on. I just feel that open shirt vibe, you know what I mean? That shirt button down to your third quarter on your chest, you know, with your fedora, and you're just there with your drink. It's just that kind of vibe. It's 2020, man. This coronavirus just needs to end, because these are the kinds of songs that you just need in rotation on a very nice speaker system, just to play to the mood of the social gathering. And I'm not particularly a heavy social gathering person, but I do enjoy it once in a while. And these are the kinds of songs that I like listening to during those kickbacks, you know? Now, Ginger with Burna Boy. Burna Boy is another person who released an album this year, an amazing album, Twice as Tall. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking of doing a particular podcast where I talk about strictly my favorite African releases this year, musical African releases. albums, because there have been some guys, there's some guys who have released music, and my God, if it wasn't for the fact that Corona was messed up in all shape, form, and ways, it just messed up certain things. In terms of African music, it has been a banger of a year. There have been some solid releases, and I just want to talk about it. Now, actually, I'm going to switch this up. I'm doing this on the fly today. I don't even have notes in front of me. The other podcasts, I went by bullet points and all that. I was nervous. But now you're just getting me. You're just getting me and how excited I am to talk to you about music. Guys, by the way, music and me. I can talk for hours. About music. Anybody who knows me very well knows that I particularly, my particular sound is, I like old school R&B. I love old school music in general, but old school R&B. You throw some Usher in there, you throw some SWV, you throw some Ashanti. We're talking about that era of 80s to mid 2000s. Yeah, that when R&B was just something else. The messaging, the music, the tones, the rhythms, the harmonization, the people who just stood flat-footed and belted out music. That was just that's a different podcast altogether. I'm going to do a podcast, by the way, just appreciating R&B. I want to do a podcast where I talk about R&B now. Just a podcast dedicated to that, because there are some hidden gems, There's some hidden gems out there right now. Artists who are creating beautiful R&B sounds right now, and they're not getting, because R&B admittedly it has gone down. There's been a slump, and it's sad. As a die-hard R&B fan, it's sad to see it not getting as highly appreciated as it used to be. Back, R&B used to be the thing, man. You're talking about concerts, you're talking about 106 in Park. 6 out of the 10 top 10 countdown songs were R&B songs. Nowadays, nope, that's not happening. But entirely different podcast. I'm getting sidetracked. I'm going way off course. We're talking about Wizkid, Made in Lagos. Okay, second song that I really, really love on this album. That's All You Get. Listen, this song. And I heard this song way before this album was released. It was one of, like I mentioned before, one of the singles that was released in anticipation for this particular album. This song, man, that reggae vibe. And then her, oh my gosh, her, I'm not just saying her as a pronoun. I'm saying her as the artist. If you don't know who her is, capital H, capital E, capital R. Phenomenal artiste. Beautiful, by the way. And she has this mysterious vibe going on. Like, you can kind of see what she looks like, but you're not sure. Like, if what she does is she wears these glasses. She's these sunglasses, and she just roams around on her interviews, her music videos, etc. And she does it in a way that's so subtle, like you can tell that's her. But if she was to remove the glasses and she was walking down the street, you'd have to like triple take, because you'd be, I don't know. And you don't want one of those awkward situations where you walk up to her and it's not her. That was really confusing. I have said her. Maybe I should fluctuate my tone when I talk about her. Is like the artist, and then her is just the normal her. But anyway, this song, man. Oh, and then the message. The message. Just, it's a beautiful, beautiful song. Lighthearted. I can understand why he chose this as one of the singles. Now, I'm going to be playing you just 3 more songs. I want to give you my top 5 on the album. Hopefully, my top 5 if you haven't heard the album, or if you haven't heard the album, it will encourage you to listen to the album. Go and listen to the album. Or if you already have listened to the album, maybe you agree with me and you'll be able to engage with me on it, because I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you guys think on this. Now, this one is pretty obvious, because it's already a banger. It's already a big time song. It's a big deal, this song. No stress. And then the video. Have you seen the video, guys? Woof. Anyway, that song, I don't really need to explain it. If you haven't heard that song already, I honestly, genuinely don't know where you have been. But that song is it's just something else. That song to me it's that song that you throw on when. It's that song that you throw on when you just want to be in a mood, you want to be in a certain mood where you're just feeling yourself, like you've just dressed up, you've put on your best cologne, you're getting ready to go meet this fine thing later on, and you just feel nice. This is what this song speaks. That's what it speaks to me. That's the mood that it puts me in. It's a wonderful song. So far, I've played you Ginger, I've played you Smile, and I've played you No Stress. Now I'm gonna play you my fourth one, and then we'll go on to the final one. Okay, this is my fourth one.
And I do what make me happy, and nobody can deny me that I'm blessed. I'm at the rough around the edges, baby, yes. I keep it nappy, and I do what make me happy, and nobody can deny me that I'm blessed. Self-preservation, self-elevation, these days deserve celebration. No hesitation, no reservation. Go for the big leagues, no relegation. Let's celebrate life, kick back and take five, and give thanks to the source that create life. To see a sunset or see a sunrise, and see my son born with these same eyes. To see my son smile bright in every gray sky. He's growing so fast, that's why every day.
Damian Marley on a tune, and you think this song isn't going to be? I can't speak to you if you think a song with Damian Marley is going to be anything but spectacular. We can't be friends. We can't be friends. The way he just checked in, verse 1, the opener to this particular song, yo. This man, and then did you peep that saxophone in the background? I know I'm playing it from my phone, okay, because I'm hoping I don't get a copyright strike for playing this album, but I just need to share with you guys, okay? But did you peep the horn, the sax in the back, and then Damien just playing in the pocket? He was riding the beat. Man, that Wizkid, I mean, I have to clap. This album, you can tell I'm very, very excited about this album. And then now, let me play you the final one that I want you to listen to. The final one. And then you guys go out there and you listen to this album if you haven't, and if you have listened to it, let me know which ones are your favorites. But listen to this. Listen to this. Give me mighty wide, oh, hey.
mentor. I tell her say I been she young come. Baby mentor. And the things you they do with yourself, you they bust my mind. Mentor. I'ma get some happy mal and not get it. See the money, I'ma take a sorrow. I did love how you move to the bass like whoa. You get the way you did do me. I'ma get make it dance. See I did find you truly. Yeah, give me mighty wide. You get the way you did do me. Yeah.
Now this song, man. This song, man. Man, I cannot wait for the video for this one, because in one of the interviews he says he is doing a video for Mighty Wine. That song is called Mighty Wine. That song is just talk about grown and sexy. And as a matter of fact, I hope he gets. Have you guys watched that video for Diamond? I don't know why the title of the song is escaping me right now, but I know the video. It's just him and this chick, and they are in this rustic coastal town, and this chick is just going off. She is dancing. I hope she's the one that they make the lead dancer for this particular song, because I need to see the whining. I need to see it. I need to. Oh, this song. Oh my gosh. This one here. I think that as you can clearly hear, that one is my favorite song on the album. Please, guys, go listen to this album. This album was phenomenal to me. It was phenomenal. And not everybody's going to agree with me. I am ready for that. I am ready for you guys to come back and tell me that, David, you are wrong. You are wrong. You are wrong. But I don't care. I don't care. This album has been playing in my earphones when I'm working out, in the car, when I'm driving. It has featured, and I am ringing it the hell out. So that is my take on Made in Lagos by Wizkid. Please, 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 again, this is probably like the 1500th time that I've told you in this podcast to go listen. But go listen and talk to me about it. Please, please, please talk to me about it. And that's the end of it. That's the end of this podcast. As you know, I like to end these podcasts with a bit of introspect. This is the part of the podcast where I essentially pull up something that spoke to me. A quote, a phrase, whatever it may be. And then I just want to share it with you to get you guys to sit back and be like, okay, that applies. That applies. And this is what I want to tell you. Okay, this is what I want you guys to listen to. If you're a giver and you have a big heart, to truly be happy in life, you must learn when to let go. Okay, I want to repeat that. If you are a giver and you have a big heart, to truly be happy in life, you must learn when to let go. Naturally, you're going to care when you shouldn't, when you're going to stay longer than you should, and when you're going to give when you have nothing. Know when to stop and to let things be. Simple as that, guys. I appreciate you listening to this podcast. Please don't be afraid to engage with me on my social media links or in the comment section if this happens to be on YouTube. I will talk to you guys in the next podcast. Peace.